What is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? My baby is back. The circus is going down. Um, my God, you guys, please take my advice and just check out a couple episodes. Oh, this temper looks sick. Um, this episode was not only pretty dope, but at the same time, seeing what we are like in store for kind of makes me want to know um, just where this story's going because first of all, we're 12 episodes in on a 36 episode show, right? And right now, we're supposedly going and fighting what's supposed to be the final boss of the series, if you ask me. And here we are, about to already, like, we're fighting the four strongest puppets, like the four oldest puppets that have existed in the Midnight Circus. And, like, with all those different things, you would think we would be like episode 33 or something, the way this is going. But with stuff like this, it's a real good sign that something terrible is about to happen. And I honestly don't even know what's going to happen, but I just feel a really bad feeling about, like, a really bad vibe about how they're playing this out. Um, so first off, we lose someone who's supposedly not supposed to be dying, and his other soldiers probably should have been gone. But it actually makes a lot of sense that the faceless commander, like take gets his life like taken away from him because of the one thing that he really was teaching his, like the quote unquote machines that he was building up. He taught them to be machines. He taught them to be faceless. He taught them to not care for anything. And the one thing that he didn't do was take his own advice. So when he was supposedly, supposed to be not about that life. Oh my God, I'm using an ice weapon, bro. He ends up pretty much doing the opposite. He ends up caring about somebody, and because of it, ends up losing his life. So this is the whole thing he's pretty much been preaching, probably to the faceless people, is like our lives are nothing, or like we need to go out of our way to pretty much die for those who are willing or at least have normal lives that we can't live anymore because they're practically immortal at this point, when it comes down to actually dying from just age or even dying from the disease that they have, the laughing disease that won't actually kill them. So all of those things put together with how dope these characters could be, in the sense of how dope Face the Commander was. Oh my God, they could be so dope, but Faceless sadly bites the dust this week, and it was pretty lame to see one of the cooler characters go out like that. Just because he showed us that he might have had a lot more capability of helping with the final fight compared to the people that we have now that are there. And I think that's what kind of like really shocked me with how the show went about this, because I'm expecting, the most broken characters being our main character there, um and faceless commander to be at least, standing tall towards the end, and yet here we are with him already dead, from literally throwing his body into gears to stop them from working. And he says 5 minutes because he says that's about as long as it's going to take for his body to be mangled up and to stop the gears from taking out Nadami. And yeah, Faceless Commander is one of the greats, and I hope that he gets treated like one, even though he did raise quite a few faceless soldiers that probably will never understand life and stuff because they chose to be faceless the way that they are. But at least somebody is carrying the mantle for him because I don't think we'll ever, get someone like him that age where he's that cool still and everything. So really curious where this show is going, man. Like I feel like all of these guys who are here, all these Shimigamis, are going to try to save our main character after finding out that they would have had a chance of winning this fight if he was selfish and if he like pretty much, went out of his way to not uh save everybody, sacrificing his body just to like, help certain people, he would be in a lot better position in general when it came down to being like alive and actually having some stamina left in the tank to fight. So now we're at a part where we really don't know if these guys who are faceless or these people that are Shimigamis can even really pull it out at this point. And because of that, I have a good feeling we're going to see some slaughter happen. I mean, these guys, there were some of their people that got taken out by these little puppets in the room that really weren't nothing besides like shooting some guns, So if the Phaelus, if their, like their lower tier people can get taken out by that, now they're going against the four strongest and oldest automatronics. Like, no, bro, they're not making it. Like, let's just be honest, man. So that sucks for them, but at the same time, it makes a lot of sense that most of these people have been handed, kind of sucky hands when it comes down to just the disease in general of like laughing and all that stuff, and not to mention anybody who really gets that close to it, their families and their loved ones, if they were close as well, they either are still probably choking out there because none of them can actually die until maybe like their body actually withers and like dissolves. So not only are you not like eating and stuff like that, you would have to just literally try to starve and deprive yourself to die because the disease itself will allow you to die in a natural way by like like suffocating without air or something along the lines of that. So very very dark stuff. Our main character was going in. He was going in, and then just to see him come like short, man, really sucked. I wasn't surprised at all though because at this point in time, like everybody who is pretty much doing anything at this moment of time inside of this place trying to help is pretty much just getting bodied. If they don't get bodied, they're literally in a position to, um, they're not really strong from what I can see. They're not as well-rounded as our main character is, but at the same time, they're less human. They are less human than him, so they are willing to do things that he might not be willing to do in the sense of letting people die or killing someone just to get into the next room, like the girl tried to do to the people she probably been around with a lot longer than we know. And just to like put in how much these people suffer, some of these guys have been alive for 90 years and they weren't even the commanders of, he wasn't even the commander, like the guy who actually taught them how to feel less emotions, you know what I mean? So if you take a look at it like that, you can kind of see that this was pretty like rough, like even though they want to die, even though they want to be in a better position in this battle, in this war, they just can't. There's just not a lot of room for actually winning these battles. And not to mention, Nagami knows for a fact that they're just trying to take themselves out. Like they don't care necessarily about themselves to live. So what do? They pretty much end up dying when they had a really good chance of beating anybody that they come against, but instead they don't work together. They don't care to work together. Um, so yeah, it ends up just kind of being a slap to the face. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Being a slap to the face when it comes down to a lot of things these characters are striving, or well, our main character is striving for anyway. He's like, I want to save you guys and I want you guys to live, and they're just like, oh, well, thanks, but we want to die, buddy. Like we're trying to die, so if you wouldn't mind just letting us die, thanks. So, um, what we learned as well is that Francine looks 100% just like the girl that burnt away in his memories. So it's becoming a really weird coincidence that not only is there Francine, that's the main leader, but we also have two other cast members that we haven't even seen in like two episodes now. So it's like, and the other cat, one of the cast members looks just like Francine, like the evil version. So to put in perspective of what I think is possible or what could possibly happen is, um, they lose, like we win, right? Like we beat all these people, but someone of the Midnight Circus lives on to try to recreate what they already had, and the way that they think this is possible is by getting their hands on the girl that looks just like Francine, or whatever her name is. Yeah, I think it's Francine. Um, so if that's the case, like we win this battle, but it just doesn't feel like we should win. I feel like they should let us lose, go and lick their wounds. There's probably a crap ton of Shimigamis that, maybe make it out because they do have ways of living through all of like the damage that they're taking. It's just the whole notion of being able to actually win in the long run. So really happy that this show is pretty much just doing whatever it wants to do at this point. Like, I've never seen a show jump this quickly into the final boss fight, but not have expectations of finishing the final boss. Like we're seconds away from supposedly, seeing the final boss is Bowers, or seeing the strongest people who could supposedly give the boss, like a run for her money. All of this stuff is being laid out on the table relatively very early on in the show. 12 episodes to be precise. So, if there is another show that they kind of showed the final boss really early, um, I can't remember it off the back right now. I mean, sure, like Death Note or something where L was kind of like the final boss for Kira or whatever, but it didn't turn out to be that way, like even then there was a twist to that. So that's what I mean, like no shows have really done this, and I'm just glad that while we're doing it, it still feels like we're learning so much about the overall world, and just learning in general what is possible for these characters. Like, what are they gonna do if they win? Like I'm pretty sure they can't die. They're gonna stop the virus from spreading, but they can't die. They can't really. Some of them don't even want to start a family and stuff because they think that if they start a family, it will just get in the way of fighting and not wanting to die and stuff like that. So it's a really weird situation that they have set forth, and I love every moment of it because it all seems like it could be the reason why certain characters don't do certain things because of what they were taught or what they learned, or maybe even build upon um, the Shimigamis becoming something bad because now they have immortality. Now they also don't think they're human. So what is left for them in this world? So I'm just jumping to conclusions now, but it's because there's 36 episodes, guys. Like, what are they gonna do if this fight ends? You know, like I don't think it's gonna end, but what would they do if it does? Um, it's kind of where I'm at, but at the same time, oh, of course you're gonna leave now, you sucky. Oh, let's go. But yeah, I'm not really sure, and I think you guys should definitely check out this show. Let me know if you have seen shows like this, so maybe you have a better idea of just what could be possible at the end of the day. Or just check out the show and tell me if you guys like it. There is 12 episodes now, so you know it's getting more and more hype, but at the same time, you know, some people don't really care for it in the long run. So if there is some way I could get you guys to check out this show, I hope my happiness and just how much I enjoy it can sooner or later help you guys want to check it out. But if not, it's okay. Like I said, this is my baby at this point. I enjoy every moment of it, every moment of it, and I think there may be some people out there that do too, but as of right now, I don't know anyone like that, so it feels good to back up a show that I think is good, and I get to, you know, have a strong opinion of it, and I don't really get flamed, but I mean, if you guys do want to question me, come at me, you know? But yeah, that will do it for this one, my anime people. Sorry it's been a while for upload. 2 days is kind of a bit. I have plans of dropping something else today, so if you are new here, make sure you subscribe and drop a like and let me know if you guys are looking forward to any animes coming in 2019. And then not only that, I will be doing another video, so make sure you're subscribed and be ready to see that. Have your notification bell on. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I am the Anime G, and I will talk to you in the next one. Alright, peace. Oh, and if you guys have Monster Hunter, or if you're Monster Hunter fans, Iceborne's coming out, and I'm going to be running that as soon as it drops. So, if you need team, or if you need like a lobby to be in, holla at your boy on the Monster Hunter, because I go in, I really don't like to lose, so I play like very tactical. So let me know. It would be nice to have some more people who actually enjoy Monster Hunter World and at PlayStation 4. But yeah, peace out, my anime people. Holy crap.